And over the lifetime of a pet, your biggest expenses as an owner will be their food, their medications, and those visits to the vet.
You know, of course, you want them to have a good quality of life, so other than shopping around a bit for their food, there is not much wiggle room there.
But for those other major expenses, a little low-cost prevention can help avoid some very pricey cures.
Ways to save on pet ownership is our featured story at the top of the list.
We know kids are expensive, but they're not the only ones.
Pets are now the new kids, right?
Doug and Dr. Kelly Patrick-Quinn are the husband and wife team behind Dr. Kelly's Vet. When you bring that adorable fur ball home,
It's kind of a hidden cost people don't quite realize can add up over the years. It can get quite expensive.
we're writing down how to save on pet ownership, and it starts with staying up to date on vaccinations.
The cost of a vaccine at a regular vet practice with the exam can be as little as $20 to maybe as high as $40, $50, or $100. But the cost of treating the disease once they have it can be death.
Let's check the tally board. Prevention, $100, and the wait and see side, death. That's a pretty clear winner, but what about the costs of treatments?
If they were to come down with parvovirus, that results in a tremendous amount of medical care. To forego the cost of a $20, $30, $40, $50 vaccination and end up with thousands of dollars for that care once they have that disease, it can be a hard hurdle to get over.
So even on the high end of the vaccination, like $100,
Right.
and the low end of some of these interventions, like $1,000, you're talking about a factor of 10. So
Easily. In some cases, it could be a factor of 100.
So your prevention number is still around $100 versus up to 10 grand. Yikes. Next, let's look at the cost savings for spay and neutering.
Population control is really the primary reason why anybody might spay and neuter your animal.
So you don't wind up with 5 or 6 additional pets. But neutered males tend to lead longer, healthier lives, and for females,
They can get a condition known as pyometra, which is an infective uterus. If they come down with that, it could be, at best, a very expensive surgery to have that taken care of.
the difference between prevention and treatment?
Somewhere in the $200, $300 range, all the way to $1,000 or $1,200 for spay and neutering, where if your female was to come down with a pyometra surgery, it could be upwards of $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for the surgery itself, plus the supportive care to make sure that she comes out of that as healthy as possible.
So let's call the top end of the prevention range $1,200 versus up to $4,000 for surgery. Finally, there's oral hygiene. Dr. Kelly showed me how it's done. Dogs will swallow the toothpaste we spit out, so
You want to use a dog toothpaste. They come in all sorts of fun flavors. Liver and chicken and yummy stuff like that.
liver toothpaste.
as for technique,
Some dogs will let you lift up their lip. Other times you just want to stick it in the back and brush.
Pretty similar to what we do.
And circular motion's best because you got to brush the gums too.
Dr. Kelly's a pro. For me, this was a wrestling match.
Obviously, it would help to have somebody at home
Yes.
to help you with it. To help hold on to
This is a
stuff.
team sport, for sure.
This cost of preventive care is higher because your pet will need anesthesia.
Your full anesthesia dental cleanings could be anywhere from $200, $300, $400 all the way up to maybe $600 or $700 or $800. However, if you let it go an extended amount of time, the cost of that can rise very quickly. $5, $6, $2, $3. I've heard of estimates getting in the $4,000 or $5,000 range to give your pet back to where their mouth is healthy and all the diseased teeth are taken out.
So while $800 sounds pricey, $5 grand sounds way worse. Add it all up and the prevention tally's around $2,100 versus $19,000 for cure, or of course, death. Investing in prevention for pets to save on high-cost cures is at the top of the list.